What time is it? It's nation time.
Welcome to the AfterWords program. My name is Baba Kafense, your host. I'm joined by Cardinal Swad, this week's preacher and presenter of our sermon, Remaking Our Full Humanity. Welcome to the AfterWords program, Cardinal Swad. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. The scripture used for the day is from the book of Genesis 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, in our likeness." How would you respond to the traditional Christians who think church, a sermon, praise and worship should be about preparing one to go to heaven rather than us preparing to take action here on earth as you challenge us to do in the sermon?
Well, I mean, without preaching a whole another sermon, I would say that, all throughout the Bible and all throughout various other holy texts, this power that we call God or the Creator, etc., wants us to live a full and rich and empowered life right here, right now. And so much of that is all throughout the Bible, the Quran, the Odu Ifa, the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, all kinds of religious texts speak about the importance of honoring the moment. Life is precious, and we're supposed to make the most of it. And it's not supposed to be simply a preparation for what happens after we die.
Okay, and early in the sermon, you expressed that human beings are made, not born. And I think that's maybe considered a kind of controversial statement. Could you elaborate on that a little?
Yeah, so I guess I'm fortunate being where I am here in Houston because I get to hear our presiding bishop, Jeramogi Millie Kimathi, preach on a regular basis. And that's one of the things that he's preached on multiple times. And the point he's making is biologically we are human, when we're born, but being human is more than just having the body parts. Being human is how you treat other people. Being human is how you can forgive yourself and forgive others. Being human is trying to figure out how to work through conflict and drama without killing your neighbor. Being human is loving yourself and others and appreciating that. Being human is dedicating yourself to a cause or a mission or a purpose that is bigger than your individual self. Being human is knowing how to live in community. All those things require us to be in relationship with others. Like, we don't even become human. We don't even learn how to walk, how to talk, how to do all those things without some level of connection with other people. And so really we become human through all those different processes, but we don't come out of the womb, with all that already in hand.
And when I heard that, it made me think about I'm here, which is one of the traditional cultures in Ethiopia, how they don't consider, and you elaborate on this as well, they don't really consider a life or a small child a human being until they've been through the socialization process for their particular community. And what this brings to mind for me is the adage, and I'm sure you've heard this, I am because we are. So my existence is predicated on how the group shapes and develops me. Could you maybe say a little more about that?
So what I think I heard you said is you were talking about in Ethiopia or some region, you're not even considered human until you go through an initiation process. What do I think about that? I think I preached about that. I think we would be a lot further on if we took that approach, because the way we define humanity now, we really do humanity a disservice because we treat folk who are absolutely inhumane and inhuman in every shape, form, or fashion, but we treat them as if they are human. In fact, that's how we tell the story of history, as if it's the story of human beings doing this, that, and the other, when oftentimes it is real the story of folk who are not fully formed as humans, going out and treating people and the planet in very inhumane and insidious ways.
Right. I like that. Could you please connect the dots? There were kind of three things that I gleaned from listening to the sermon. Of course, being made in God's image, which is the basis of the scripture you use. The concept of Black August, which of course we raised up Marcus Garvey. His birthday was about a week ago. And also remaking our humanity. Could you connect the dots between those three concepts?
Between Black August, Marcus Garvey, and
Black August being made in God's image and remaking our full humanity.
oh, okay. So, well, in terms of connecting the dots with our humanity and Black August, well, Black August was formed because um, white nationalist institutions were treating Black people, more specifically Black folk who had been imprisoned in inhumane ways, as if they were not human. And it was the humanity of those sisters and brothers on lockdown that screamed that something needed to be done, and so they did it. In response to the assassinations, the murders of the Jackson brothers, George and John Jackson, um, these sisters and brothers formed what became an annual tradition of using August to dive deep into Black history, but also to celebrate or commemorate all the sisters and brothers, past and present, who have dedicated their lives to making life better for Black folk and really for the world. And so it was really a movement of showing people how to be their full human selves and how to treat others in their full human self. And that's what um, I believe that Garvey did on so many ways. Um, Garvey says, Africa for the Africans and up ye mighty race, accomplish what you will. It's as if Garvey read or heard those words from scripture, let us make humankind in our image. And he asked the question, well, who is the us that this scripture is talking about? And his response was, well, it's God and it's us as humans because we need each other to become human. So it's really a communal act. And, the way our presiding bishop says it is God is the uncreated creator, but we are co-creators. And so, in essence, we really are because we play a huge part in helping others to become human, and other folk play a huge part in helping ourselves. And so, with that in mind, Garvey created all sorts of vehicles to allow Black folk to become their fullest expressions of humanity. Uh, the organization, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, the Liberty Halls where they met on Sundays, all these were communal gathering spaces where we could help each other become human. One way we become human is through service. He created service venues for Black people to serve our interests in building a better world. Another way we become human is investing in those institutions that are looking out for our interests. And so he created the Black Star Line and other businesses, Black businesses, so we could invest in a movement that was taking us in the direction that we needed to go. And so he created all these vehicles so that we could become more human and help our sisters and brothers do the same.
How does the remaking, excuse me, of our full humanity, how does the remaking of our full humanity as a spiritual goal fit with the traditional Christian teachings and emphasis on individual salvation and preparation for life in heaven or the hereafter.
Well, it absolutely confronts that whole idea of individual salvation. In the sermon, I quote Dr. Khalid Muhammad, who is now an ancestor. He was the right hand man of Minister Louis Farrakhan for so many years, a brother from Houston. He visited our cultural and event center on a gazillion occasions. He is the symbol. If you've ever seen the Public Enemy logo, it's this brother, and he's in the crosshairs of some police rifle. That image is literally Khalid Muhammad. He opens up one of Public Enemy's songs by saying, "Have you forgotten that once we were brought here, we were robbed of our names, robbed of our language. We lost our religion, our culture, our God. And many of us, by the way we act, we even lost our minds." He's literally saying we've lost our humanity, and now it is time for us to go back and reclaim it. And so this idea of an individual salvation, that it's me and my relationship with this higher power, that's the only thing that matters, that is so antithetical to the foundations of all religious and spiritual life that has existed on this planet for eons, that it's almost laughable, and it's so childish, and it's so anti-human and anti-humane that we have got to make it our mission to preach and teach and live another message.
Thank you for that. Could you briefly elaborate on the role of the role that the Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church plays in facilitating the breaking free of this denial of our full humanity and becoming human again?
Well, we take the baton from the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, more specifically, our beloved founder and first Holy Patriarch, the Honorable Jeramogi Abebe Ajima. He took that baton, and he took that movement, and he took that idea of creating institutions where Black people can find our full humanity and help each other to become human, and to providing all these different venues and avenues to do that. He took that to heart, and he led a movement that allowed us to create those opportunities for us today, whether it's investing in Beulah land, that 4,000 plus acre Black self-determination project, or the West End Learning Center, or all the various things we have going on in Detroit, Atlanta, Houston, South Carolina, West Africa. It's in the focus on community and the group. It's in the Black liberation theology that we teach and preach. It's in all those venues where we can find our humanity by linking and connecting one with each other.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cardinal Swad, for a very powerful sermon and an even more insightful conversation today. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to leave the audience with that maybe we didn't cover?
Up, ye mighty race, accomplish what you will.
Thank you for that. I'd like to thank our viewers for joining us today, and we invite you to join us next week and every week for our enlightening sermons and our afterwards discussion that follows. Well, we thank you again for tuning in. Thank you, Cardinal Swad. We say God bless and have peace.
Thank you, brother.
What time is it? It's nation time.